Hi, I'm East Coast Gamer. I've been gaming since 1984, back when Commodore 64 and the Atari 2600 was around. Today, I mainly focus on PC games as well as console games. I have a love for video games that just makes my imagination run wild. I've always felt connected to the video games. In reality, um, I wouldn't really fit in much of anywhere else. I would look in someone's direction, get flipped off, cursed out. They would call me names, insult me, even so much to physically try to harm me. I didn't have anything, I didn't even have to say anything to them. They would just do it. People are cruel and mean in this world. So I stayed inside where it was safe. I go into my own little bubble, live my life inside the video games. Now I know this doesn't really sound like the entertainment part, but it's true. Why some gamers, such as myself, live a life that's hidden from the outside world, and that's why I can connect to the other gamers that are just like me. Here's the thing. See, I'm a Christian. I live my life alone in a, in my own little bubble because I find comfort just knowing that I can speak to others who have gone through the same things that I have, and I can help them because they're just like me. I get to speak to teens, adults, anyone who's gone through, any type of bullying. I found out that over the years, you can't really worry about what people think or feel about you, or just, because you're somehow different from those kids or other adults. The best thing about being you is the fact that you are unique. You're special. And that makes you special. And see, God loves those who are special because it gives us a chance to grow and learn from our experiences, so that one day we can actually share with others who are like us, and we can grow stronger. And as we learn from our endeavors and building our self-esteem and self-respect, we can actually stick together. And we need our moral support groups, and we need to talk with each other and take a stand against bullying. See, in the recent years, a series of bullying-related suicides in the U.S. and across the globe have drawn attention to the connection between bullying and suicide. Though too many adults still see bullying as just part of being a kid, it's a serious problem that leads to many negative effects for victims, including suicide. Many people may not realize that there is also a link between bullying and committing suicide. Statistics on bullying and suicide are alarming. Suicide is the third leading cause of death among young people, resulting in about 4,400 deaths per year, according to the CDC. For every suicide among young people, there are at least 100 suicide attempts. Over 14% of high school students have considered suicide, and almost 7% have attempted it. Bullying victims, or bully victims, are between 2 and 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims, according to the studies of Yale University. A study in Britain found that at least half of the suicides among young people are related to bullying. 10 to 14 old girls, or 10 to 14-year-old girls, may be at even higher risk for suicide, according to the study above. According to the statistics reported by the ABC News, nearly 30% of students are either bullied or victims of bullying, and 160,000 kids stay at home from school every day because of bullying or being the fear of bullying. Bully-related suicides can be connected to any type of bullying, including physical bullying, emotional bullying, cyberbullying, sexting, or circulating suggested or rude photos, or nude photos, messages about a person. Some schools or regions have more serious problems with bullying and suicides related to bullying. This may be due to an excessive problem with bullying at the school. It can also be related to the tendency of students who are exposed to suicide to consider suicide themselves. Some of the warning signs of suicide can also include showing signs of depression, like ongoing sadness, withdrawal from others, losing interest in favorite activities, trouble sleeping or eating, talking about or showing an interest in death or dying, engaging in dangerous or harmful activities, including recklessness, behavior, substance abuse, or self-injury, giving away favorite possessions and saying goodbye to people, saying or expressing that they can't handle things anymore, making comments that things would be better off without them. If a person is displaying these symptoms, talk to them. Talk to them about your concerns. Get them help right away, such as inform a counselor, tell a doctor, or add an emergency room. Some cases it may not be obvious. A teen may be thinking about suicide, such as when the suicide seems to be triggered by a particular bad episode of bullying, or in several cases where bullying victims kill themselves. Bullies had told the teen that he or she should kill him or herself, and that the world would be better off without him. Others hear these types of statements and should be quick to stop them and explain to the victim that bullying is wrong. Other ways to help those maybe consider suicide include, take the talk or threats of suicide seriously. Don't tell the person they are wrong or that they have a lot to live for. Instead, get them immediate medical help. Keep weapons and medications away from anyone who is at risk for suicide. Get these items out of the house, or at least secured and locked up. Parents should encourage their teens to talk about bullying. Talk about the bullying that takes place at schools or around the neighborhoods. It may be embarrassing for the kids to admit that they are the victims of being bullied. Most kids don't want to admit it. They've been involved in bullying or being bullied at school or anything. Tell victims that it's not their fault. That they only being bullied, and show them the love and support that they need. Get them the professional help if the bullying is serious. It's a good idea for parents to insist on being included in their children's friends and on social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so they can see if someone has posted mean messages about them online. Text messages may be more difficult to know about, so parents should try to keep their open communications with their children about bullying. Parents who see a serious bullying problem should also talk to the school authorities about it. Perhaps arrange a meeting with the bullying parents or the bully's parents. More states are implementing laws against bullying, and recent lawsuits against schools and criminal charges against bullies show that there are legal avenues to take to deal with the bullies. If school authorities don't help with the ongoing bullying problem, local police or attorneys may be able to do so. People who are thinking about suicide should talk to someone right away. Go to an emergency room. They can also call the free suicide hotline such as 1-800-273-TALK. That's 8255. 1-800-273-8255. Friends and relatives of suicide victims need to find someone to talk to as soon as they can. If they're a victim of suicide attempts or suicide victims, then they need to be able to talk to someone so they can grieve. Especially if they're suffering from depression or suicide thoughts themselves. As an East Coast gamer, which is my title I use for Twitch.tv, we do a live broadcasting here, and we experience cyberbullying all the time. We have people who come in to our channels, and they troll all the time. And the definition of trolling is basically someone who comes in to disturb the channel, who makes rude and obscene comments, posts links that goes to virus programs or Trojan links that ruins your computer or programs. We have people who also come in who use a program that actually invades your privacy, who can go into Skype, find out your IP address, and then they can ban your IP, or they can download a certain type of virus that overloads your current IP address, and overall they essentially shut down your modem by overloading it. These types of bullies are actually criminal minded, and they're against federal law. I just want to leave you with a note to say for some of the parents, basically from John 5:19. So Jesus explained, I tell you the truth. The Son can do nothing by himself. He does only what he sees the Father doing. And whatever the Father does, the Son also does. Now, I'm not saying that it's the father's fault, or it's the mother's fault, or it's the parents' fault. But parents set an example. And if you're a parent of a child who's being bullied, then somewhere along the lines, you are not communicating with your child enough. Or your child is not being fully honest with you because he or she fears what you may say. It's time to take a stand. It's time to get involved in your children's lives more. And it's time to take care of your children. And if you're an adult and you're still experiencing bullying from any type of source, it's time to take a stand. Fight back. Thank you. I hope this message receives from everyone. I hope that you all are receiving this message because you know what bullying does to people and you know how it feels to be bullied. Take a stand. Fight back. Don't let bullying overcome you. Don't let bullying become of you. And don't let bully threaten your life ever. Thank you.